Good morning and welcome to Touch Base Daily. My name is Ron Foster. I'm touching base with you as I always do every day. And I'm here with my partner in crime on our wonderful Thursdays. It's TrendWatch Thursday with our brother and friend, Chris.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, community. How's everybody doing today?
How is everyone doing? It is a new day, and we're going to be talking about a lot of different headlines happening today that happened over the week since we last talked. So much has happened since last Thursday. So we have a couple of things to talk about, and also we'll share some Instagram footage for some of the folks out there out in the streets doing their thing. And so it's good to be here. It is good to be in the land of the living, as they say. And again, we haven't missed a beat. We are looking good on our Instagram feed now because of the new setups here on our wonderful here on StreamYard. StreamYard has really done an amazing job. And so they're getting all kudos from me. I am going to brag about StreamYard because they really have done an amazing job with this new setup.
They have
also given us some new reach.
a serious boost.
We've been getting yesterday's show was like 1.3 thousand people were watching views. I mean, whoo, that was like holy moly. When it used to be like 50,
like 50, yeah, like two days in a row. 2 days in a row.
Yeah.
I will say this though, because I noticed, the feed automatically shows up in the show automatically shows up in my feed on my YouTube channel. And so I clicked on it again and it came up with the vertical one. So you have to actually go into the subscriptions because two feeds show up now and you don't know which one you're going to see when you click on it. And of course you want to get the full version on a TV. So you have to make sure you pick the right one. And it doesn't say the format underneath on the preview.
It needs to say landscape or vertical or
vertical,
something.
Yeah.
The audience would know what is the better for them. Because if you're on your smartphone, the vertical probably works better. But if you are on your television or your laptop, the landscape works better. So
absolutely.
And but it looks good on both. I mean,
it does.
Translation of how it's communicating between vertical and landscape look really good.
And there's a little bit of a learning curve as far as like graphics, like we talked about yesterday, having the graphics on here. But even like in the backstage, how we see it, we see both feeds now.
Yes.
Which is actually kind of nice. So you can see if you need to kind of like move over. That's what I was doing all day yesterday. I kept going like this. Wait a minute, I'm
centered in the vertical.
Yeah.
The vertical helps
you
stay in one place.
Yeah, no, it does. It forces you actually.
Yeah, I can't just move around because I got to stay right there, in that spot. So the weather here oh my gosh, I mean, we went from 28 to I woke up 2 days ago, it was 25 degrees. It was colder here in Charlotte than it was in New York City. Yeah. However, New York City still maintained its coolness because I heard the high is going to be 50 degrees in New York today. But the high today is going to be 70. So.
Yeah, today's high is 50. Well, actually 53. It's 50 degrees right now. I went out maybe about an hour ago. It's windy here too. Most of the leaves now have fallen off of the trees. We are really about to get into this winter thing.
Winter's around the corner. Winter is almost a month and a half away.
Yeah.
And there we have it. Let's see who's in the building, though. Let's see who is in the building. If you're in Instagram, come over to our YouTube channel. That is where you are going to have a better experience. I see Tuscany over there. Miss Tuscany Blue is over in Instagram. Come on over. Come on over, baby. So come on over to our YouTube channel, which is Ron Lewis Photos. And or if you're on Google, you can just put in Touch Base Daily. It will automatically come up and you can join us. Okay, now we got all those legal things, all the logistics out the way. The first person in the building today. Hey, y'all. Happy Thursday, Grand Rising, Ron, Chris, and beautiful Touch Base Daily souls. And with the silver is Chris. are. Good morning. And also, Omar is in the top.
Wow.
Whoa, he got the bronze. He says,
Wow.
good morning. Omar, I am working on when I can get to Texas because I just talked to our 926 guy and 926 photos. I think 924, 924 photos, and Mr. K. And I told him, I said, I am coming. I have so many friends in Texas, and I have to come and spend some time.
You can just do a world tour in Texas because
Yes,
Texas is
I
big.
have literally about 7 or 8 friends in Texas, in the
Okay.
Dallas, Fort Worth area.
And of course, you got to go see the wifey. I mean, hello.
Hello, the work wife. Yeah, you can't go to Texas without seeing the work wife.
You do not want to be scorned.
Oh no. Well, you have to go to the work wife's home because that's where the booze is.
That's the headquarters. That's the headquarters. So good morning to the top 3. Good morning to the top 3. This is a new top 3.
We got a whole new top 3. Okay.
Yeah.
Next in the building is our wonderful Bryson. He says, "What's up, Ron? What's up, Chris? What's up, everybody? Happy Law and Order Thursdays. One more day before the weekend. It is the weekend eve." Yes.
And we didn't get a new Law and Order last week, so I'm looking forward to this week's.
Look at the Law and Order fans.
Yeah.
I now have Peacock and I don't use it. I have Peacock and I haven't used it.
You should use it.
I've always had the account, but now I have a Peacock because of T-Mobile. T-Mobile, when I signed up for some program, automatically enrolled me to free Peacock. And I was like, how long is it going to last? I said, indefinitely.
Take advantage of it.
Okay, that's free. So T-Mobile gave me free Peacock. Also, our lovely Jazz is in the building. She says, good morning, beautiful people, roses. I can't stay long today, but make sure you hit the like button. Thank you.
Yes.
Hit the like button, y'all. Hit the like button.
Let me do that on TV right now.
First time here, you've never been here before. Hit the subscribe. Hit the like. That's how we grow. That's how the algorithms know.
Welcome to the feed.
Approve. And the next person in the building, Mimi Hinton. She says, good morning, Ron, Chris, and RLP Touch Base Daily crew. And speaking of the work wife, she's in the building too. She says,
good morning.
She keeps it to one word, morning. And Anthony's in the building, Anthony Rowland, good morning, he says. And and Bryson's giving us some information. He says, and check this out, because a crazy fan went up on Ariana Grande and Cynthia Evo went belt to at Singapore. He about to starstruck to getting ass whooped. Okay.
I think we got it.
We got
it.
That.
Seemed like I guess a fan tried to run up on them.
I remember that. I saw that in the news. Somebody tried to get to the stage. Yeah, but
you always have one crazy person.
That was in Singapore. So it goes to show you the crazy stuff don't just happen here in America. Humans are flawed creatures.
Yeah, but it sounds like this one happened overseas because they're actually overseas right now. I believe the New York premiere is next week, right before the actual premiere. Because it premieres next week, Friday, I believe. And I will be on will I be on a plane? No, I'll be already at my destination Friday.
Yes, you will be.
Yes, I'm so looking forward to this. I need this.
I know you can.
I need this.
I wanna get away. I want to fly
my Jet 2 holiday.
Yes. I noticed that on the portrait view, they have a
cell phone. I think it's a cell phone.
So you're saying there's an icon to let you know which view is okay. I didn't know that.
We have to look at that. Okay. We learned something.
There is a way. Okay. G says, and they're pushing the vertical format. Yes, they are.
Well, that makes sense.
And Lisa says, I don't like the new version. I'm on the old one. It figures. That was Lisa. Lisa's not one for change. She's slow to change, right? Lisa's slow to change. Jelly, we know. Yeah, the tech geek gurus in here, Billy. Elise is in the building. She says, "Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Good morning, Elise."
Great conversation, by the way, with the ladies yesterday.
Oh,
So good.
as always. That's right. You were. I knew you were. I knew you were out there somewhere. I said, Chris is out there. He's watching. He's listening.
I was on a show yesterday, sir.
Yes, you were. And Jamel Shabazz is in the building. I know my brain. I had a brain freak. I was thinking the day before when you were laying. When you were laying around.
No, I was not. Well, no, I was fine.
That was 2 days ago.
Monday I was not well at all. I was out for the count on Monday, but it's okay. I'm all better now.
Jamel Shabazz says, "Grand rising family, grand rising," and let's see here. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. And Omar says, "I'm alive." Yes, you are, buddy. Yes, you are. And good morning, good morning, good morning. Yes, Kindred. Yes, so we're gonna have to connect, Mr. Kindred. Yes, Mr. K. Yes, so we're gonna do. I gotta get to Texas. I really do have to get to Texas, and I'll have to do it like when I'm like down in the southern states. Like if I'm in Atlanta in December, then it will be easy for me to go from Atlanta to Texas. And I just got my schedule I'm pretty much put my schedule together for December. Bryson is in the building. He says that, okay, for some I am unable to see any comments. Really? So you're not able to see comments? If you're in the vertical, the comments are on the top now.
Yeah.
They're on the top. If you're in the landscape, the comments are on the bottom. Okay. And hey, Tyrone Washington is in the building. Why both got names? Oh, is this a troll? Oh no.
Yeah, we just put him on timeout.
See, I'll send it to you on IG. And what else is here? That was rude, but okay. That was not rude, Lisa.
So listen, one thing to be cognizant of, once you start having more reach, you'll start having more trolls. People just want to have something to say. Listen, just don't pay attention to them. They want to, and listen, the moment you don't pay them attention, they're not getting what they want, then they go away. Or, just get rid of them.
I love G says. She just says, if I may, there isn't a new format. It's right. This is not a new format. She goes, we as streamers now have the option to provide content in two optimized formats if we wish. Thank you for clarity. Clarity. Ellie says, I am glad that you're feeling better, Chris.
Thanks, Elise.
Moving on. And thank you. But Ron only says slick stuff to me. That's not true. That's not true. Lisa, come on. You have you been into our conversations with Gwendolyn or with Chris? Come on. No way. Anthony says, yes, you do. I have to meet you in person before you leave. Yes, right, Antonio. Yes. And thank you for that, Chris. You took care of the banning. That's the great part with having two people at the remote at the control.
Yes.
We will not hesitate to ban the trolls.
Bye.
Bye.
Let me not encourage you.
Okay. So, guys, what do you guys want to talk about? First of all, if there's a particular subject you want to talk about, put it in the comment box. Is there a particular topic that went on this week that you want to talk about? I just know off the bat, I love that DL Hughley does so much speaking, and he was really on. He really was onto something. He said everyone's talking about the Democrats caving, and I'm trying to maybe we can find that video, but he was talking about all the how everyone's talking about how the Democrats are caving, and we were all upset that night. I know I was pissed off. However, as the dust is settling, there are some positive. There's some good things about this. I want to say, I would call it. I'm not gonna call it caving. I will say the positioning of the Democrat Party in this, meaning it was only, again, it wasn't the whole Democrat Party, but some folks in the Democrat Party said, well, if we're going to have to do this, if we have senators that want to yield, then how can we use this to our advantage?
Yeah.
And the folks, the Democrats in the House said, we will use this to our advantage. One, we will get our Arizona Congresswoman sworn in. And she got sworn in yesterday.
Yeah. I mean, it forced him, because of the fact that they were going to open a government. I mean, there's no excuse now why you're not swearing her in.
Yeah. So, and then as Elise is saying, she said the conversation needs to focus on what the Republicans are doing and have done. And that was the other part that really stood out to me with DL was saying, yesterday, DL Hughley, he was saying, everyone's talking about how the Democrats caved, but no one's talking about how the Republicans were willing to starve fellow Americans. And I was like, you ever have the moment, you have an aha moment, something so simple and thought. We talk about it, but it was such a simple. It was thought and simplicity. Yes, the Democrats yielded, but let's us focus on the matter. The focus of the matter is that there were Republicans that were willing to starve fellow Americans, to not feed the people. And that's where the focus should be. Not how the Democrats yielded, but how the Republicans were going they were going to do it whatever they needed to do what they wanted to do. And that was, and in doing so, they were willing to starve fellow Americans. I was like, DL, thank you for that insight. And thank you, Elise. The conversation needs to focus on what the Republicans are doing and have done.
Absolutely.
The Democrats are trying to save healthcare in America. The Democrats are on the side of the people. Let's not forget, the Republicans are doing everything they can to raise money so that billionaires can get a tax break. That's what it all comes down to. All of this that's going on is to give money to the rich.
Yep. And
let's not even say the 1%. You have to say the 0.5%.
Yeah. So after really kind of listening to some of the narrative and the conversation about why this happened the way it is, we talked about it a little bit yesterday, as far as, Schumer asking them to wait to do this after the election last week, and then, why they did it. And then, it kind of does make a little sense. Yes, I think we still have a right to be upset. 'Cause, like, in a way, yeah, what was this for? 40 days of pain for American people, but then also what it's forcing them to do is to put Republicans on record. So, for instance, one of their agreements was that they had to put the ACA up for a vote in December and have a conversation about it. Them actually having to go on record and saying that they're voting down to extend the benefits will now put on records that Republicans do not want this and they have no solution. They can't say, oh, the Dems did this because they're all voting for it, for these extensions. The
Yes.
Republicans are voting against it. So this is a way of saying there's no way to spin this. You can't say Dems this, Dem that, when the record shows, the voting record shows that you guys have voted against it.
That's
So there is some strategic movings going on with this. I hope, however, because I'm sure they've got a lot more strategically planned out. But of course, you never want to really show your hand, because then you give your opponent the opportunity to maneuver. And this is one thing that the Democrats have never been good at. The fact that they've been able to keep this quiet for this long, and then now to start to play their hand, it's something a little bit different that we had not seen from them in the past. So I'm going to give them right now, I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt to see what happens as this thing moves forward.
Yeah, I also even I'm always about Lawrence O'Donnell, and even last night and the night before, he brought out some really good points, and I said, you know what, Lawrence, you're absolutely right. I had to agree that,
and he's never been wrong.
Yeah, I mean the point is, look, I can say I can stand corrected. I was hopping on the wrong thing. I mean, obviously the moment was just like, why are you caving? But when you really look at the big picture, also when it comes to Epstein, because it's really all about another part of this news cycle is Epstein, Epstein, Epstein. And the American public needs to be focusing on, why are these people hiding at any cause Epstein? And we also know that they just released the emails yesterday.
Yep. A ton of emails.
Tons of emails. They have like 100,000 emails.
It's only a fraction of it.
A fraction yesterday.
But his name appears all over it.
All through it. His name, Ankles. His name is all through it. And so I had to take a step back yesterday. I had to take a step back and say, you know what, DL, you're right. And I know Elise is always kind of echoes in our heads and say, don't focus on the shiny objects.
Yeah.
Right. And I know I can fall for it too. So I was like, oh, I stand corrected. Yes, we should be focusing on the fools that wanted to starve their own people.
Hold on, let me put up what Charlene said. And I believe this. The Epstein files are the smoking gun to the administration. Because of the Epstein files, he's doing all these other things to distract, like destroying the White House. Like, he spent so much time redecorating the White House. Like, sir, you're supposed to be running the country and the government, and you're more interested in redecorating. He just did something on Fox where he's showing where, oh, we did like 1.5 inch thick text in brass and gilded in gold, and like putting up all this gaudy, god awful looking pictures and little appliques. Like, this is, I mean, he is destroying the people's house, making it look disgusting. I mean, it's ridiculous. These are all distractions, but he's doing this and highlighting it so that, quote unquote, we're not talking about what's in these Epstein files. Regardless if he's implicated at doing something with a minor or not, he is in this completely. He knows about it. He knew about it. He knows the people. He's protecting people. People are protecting him. And listen to me, it is going to come out eventually. It is. We're going to find out that evidence has been destroyed. And, it will stink from the head down. Every part of his administration will be affected because all of them have played a part in it.
I love what also here, gentlemen, hold a second. I just put it in here. I just started. Here we go. I got Elise in there. You guys talk so fast. It scrolled down so fast. Okay, there we go. This is Kawana says, Republicans are playing real life Hunger Games. We need to eat and have affordable health care.
Yes. Great comment.
That's a great statement right there. Republicans are playing real-time Hunger Games.
Well, you
And
can relate to
don't
that.
care for the people. What other there's some that was definitely something to highlight. Lisa says, why are no Democrats bringing up a sanction for Dump making money by leveraging his presidency? There is an actual law against it. It's called the Emolument Law.
We know
So
that.
we know he doesn't care. Kankus does not care about the Emolument Act, and that is where you cannot take funds and
Here,
money and use your
here's the
president.
problem. Here's the problem, Lisa, with doing something like that now. Yes, you can put sanctions. You want to impeach him again. There's not enough votes for them to get any of this stuff. I mean, it's just like it's lip service, and you're taking focus away from trying to do other things. I mean, there's just so much shit that he is doing that is against the law, and we know it. And he's doing it in our faces.
Yeah. And he doesn't care about the law. That's the problem.
No.
He is lawless.
The Supreme Court has given him the right to do whatever he wants.
I see here, Mimi says, right, but they will try to spin it. Well, they can't spin, like Chris said, they can't, but what, even when you got them quoting yesterday on Fox, 2 days in a row of this whole thing, you know they can't spin it, because when you have so many people that were in jeopardy of going hungry, and most of these people were in red states, you cannot deny people what they are actually feeling. If you know you cannot go and use your SNAP or get the what do you call it, EBT card and going to get your groceries, you can't use it. It's nothing on it. Then people realize, why is this not working? Well, then that takes them down the road of finding out. And if they find out, then they realize the Republicans are screwing them over. You can't deny what's happening to you. So, G says, voting records are only good if voters actually looked at the voting records. Oh, yes. And Mimi agrees. Right, G. And folks do not read.
This is true.
Lisa says the primary law that restricts U.S. presidencies from making money using the presidency is the Emolument Clause of the U.S. Constitution. The Constitution is not being followed at all. He is not supporting the Constitution. Mimi says the smoke behind the curtain. And G says the best offense is a good defense. Stop waiting for someone else to tell the story. And we already took care of Shirley's statement. And Elise says, exactly, G. There needs to be a better defense. And Lisa says, so is his estate not with Dump? Because they are the ones who released the files. The Democrats are the ones that are responsible. They call the investigative body are in charge of getting these files out. And now that they have the votes, and there are several Republicans that are also on the side. And there was an emergency meeting yesterday that Trump Kankos called everyone into DC because he was trying to get them to change their vote on the release of all of this information. So stay tuned, as they say. FRR says he is interested in destruction of everything. I am, what I always say, I believe he is a Manchurian candidate. I think I can't help but think that, but maybe I'm thinking
that part.
I just think the Russians or whoever it is has put this man in, helped get him in office, and he is really doing a job on this country. But the people, after Tuesday's election, I have a newfound hope. I do believe there is a segment of the MAGA movement, or the people that were kind of like in the middle, but they just sided with Trump for some reason, are starting to wake up, because people are not happy with seeing people dragged out of their cars, children being snatched from their arms, women
Yeah.
being pushed to the
All right,
ground.
let me stop. Let me interrupt real quick because I don't even think it's that. It's for I think people like us who've already known this. That's the stuff that bothers us. I think where the people that are in the MAGA part of the wing, where it's bothering them is when, like, the farmers who voted for him, now they can't sell their crops. The people that are not getting their food stamps, their SNAP. The people that have lost their health insurances, or their local hospitals are closing down. Those are the people who are being affected, because you see them creating social media posts about, oh, this is not what I voted for, and I'm really disappointed, and this and that. Like, yeah, hello, this is what you voted for. You get exactly what you voted for. So I think those are the people that are being affected when it comes to those things. I don't think like them seeing people that don't look like them being dragged out of their
Oh yeah,
cars and being disappeared. They don't care.
they don't.
That's what they wanted. They wanted the cruelty, but they didn't think the cruelty would hit them.
Yes, this is true. I agree with you on that. Again, until the pain is unbearable, people don't change their behavior.
Yep.
And so Lisa says, someone said he will probably bomb a small country today just to change the focus. He is itching to have a war with Venezuela. He's itching for him, in his mind, it does two things. One is a distraction from Epstein. Epstein. But also, he is so thirsty to suspend voting. And in order to, remember, he was some joking when the Ukraine president mentioned that he was going to be president because they're in war. So you suspend the election. So Trump, or Kankles, is trying his best to suspend the upcoming elections. And the only way in his mind is to be at war. So,
well, let's see what he does. I mean, the election now is a little less than a year away.
And Charlene says, redecorating Amazon haul. Home Depot supplies. G says, surely we don't believe that the Epstein files will stop the foolishness in this country. America has a track record for protecting pedophiles and predators. And this is true. Elise says he is also doing other things like pardoning 70 people in the middle of the night. And we have to keep always reminding that these pardons are people who are criminals, who have been convicted, tried, and have gone to court, lawyers, judgment, everything, jury.
Yeah.
Criminal.
Now, here's the thing, the weird thing. Some of these, out of these new 70 pardons, not all of them are federal. Some of them had state things attached to them, which can do nothing, but it's more of a symbolic gesture to say that he supports these people. And then another thing to make note about, he, pardoned all the January 6th rioters and stuff like that. And a good amount of them have been rearrested for other things, for sexual abuse, for assault, for murder. These are not good people.
No, they're not.
These are not the best people. But yet and still, every one of the people that have committed crimes, he has let out into the world for them to commit more crimes, to unalive people, to assault people.
Yeah. Lisa says, did y'all hear him say, no, this is not from Home Depot. It absolutely is. Also, I want to address this one by gaming your mom. And says, and we will see the Clintons, Obamas in the files also. Well, listen, this is the difference between MAGA and the rest of us. If Clinton and Obama or whoever is in those files, we don't care. We want the truth to come out.
Yeah.
MAGA, on the other hand, they are protecting their dear leader at any cost. That's the difference with MAGA versus the rest of us. The rest of us, if Clinton is in those files, we want to know about it too. We don't
Yeah.
care. We want to know the truth. So there you have it. I just wanted to just bring that up since that was stated up there. Bryson says he is definitely not going to jail. Exactly. Not okay. Let's see here, but it's further exposed.
I will say these comments are jumping these
You
past
guys
couple of
are, I
days.
love it.
Like,
This is
I
the
mean,
conversation.
I can't even
This
keep up with this.
is what we do. This is how we do it. Lisa says, but it's further exposure to America. They need to continue to expose him. Yes. The rest of the world is sitting back and saying, what the hell is going on in America? But a lot of the world is saying, we thought they were all that. They're just like us.
Yeah.
Because the rest of the world is okay. And the rest of the world also knows how to deal with their criminals. If they have a president that's gone rogue, they will arrest him.
Yeah.
America is a young country. Again, we are a young
Relatively.
country. We may not be a young democracy, but we are a young country compared to many other countries on the main stage. We are babies. Most people say America is right now in its teenage stage of our development. We're only 250 years old. Most countries are 1,000 years old, or 600 years old, 700 years old. So we are we're growing up, y'all. We are growing up. Hopefully, we'll get it together. FRR says the thing is, he is using his family and his funneling money down to supporters and GOP. Well, we saw what the senators try to do. Were they able to? I don't know. Were they able to get those clauses out of the bill to open up the government? Were they able to get that $500,000 that some of these senators put in that they wanted to get money for being investigated for January 6th? Don't know. I don't know if that clause got taken out. I do believe it was
I
supposed to.
know it was snuck in there, and of course they said, "Oh, we don't know how that got in there." Hello, you know exactly how that got in there.
Well, Buster, I would agree with you on some levels, and you have Democrats and folks that are in the same mindset, Buster, thinking the political parties aren't all the same team run by one group is hilarious. Now, I don't think they ran by one group, but there are some people, I think the ACL and a couple of other organizations that support both parties and people from both parties. And this is why some decisions the Democrats make, or some of the maybe establishment, can't make a good decision because they are bought and paid by some of the people that are playing both sides of the fence. So it may appear that they're both equal, but they are not equal. The Democrats are not the same as the MAGA, not the same, totally different mindsets, but there are people and individuals in these parties, both parties, that are accepting money from the same entities.
Yeah.
That's the way we break it down. Okay, Chris Howell. He says Tim Burchett, a Republican, just went into the Senate demanding release of the Epstein files, and the Democrats said, "Yeah, no, that's not true, not true." Okay, moving right along, and see here, going on. G says, here we go. G says, the mental gymnastics of some of our fellow citizens is top tier. Come on, Ron, seriously? Yes, right. Um, this is a controversial statement. How do you guys feel about this? FRR, who's not a troll. She's not a troll. Not at all. The problem is too many getting SNAP benefits don't or didn't care to vote. Now, I think that's too much of a big blanket statement. There are people in both. There are people all throughout the country that don't vote. Remember, 1/3 voted for MAGA, 1/3 voted for Kankles, and 1/3 did nothing.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
that did
I,
nothing
I
range from the poorest to
to
the
the
rich.
richest. Yeah. I think that that's just a small segment of it. I think that overall, there's a vast amount of people that did not vote, which encompasses a huge demographic, which you just described. And that is the problem. That is the
Yes.
problem. We all know people who always say, oh, well, I'm not going to vote because my vote doesn't count. You know what I mean? And like, I don't have the patience or the bandwidth for people like that. And if there are people that I know, okay, you know what? We don't have the same views. I have no problem with us having opposing political views, but when you decide that you don't want to participate, you have no say. There's not a conversation that you and I can have because you didn't participate. You have to, in order to have an opinion, you have to participate. That's just where I am when it comes to politics and just anything in general. How can you contribute to a conversation when you don't actively engage?
Yes. You have to, and you have to know. You have to know the information. You have to know. And the unfortunate part about some conversations is that a lot of times we can make the mistake of generalizing, and you have to zero in, kind of like bring in the microscope and zero in on who is doing what, who's receiving what kind of money. There's a lot of details that you need to absorb to know what's happening on both of these different parties. I mean, if you if you can't see the difference, then you might want to check some things because there is no comparison between MAGA and the
Yeah.
Democrats.
And I think Lisa meant to say the Epstein estate gave the Dems the files. That might
Oh,
have just been a typo. Yeah.
okay, gotcha. And so I see political. Well, Buster, there used to be a time that political opponents have been good friends openly for decades as minimum. At minimum,
Yeah.
and this is very true. Back in the day, in 1980s or the 50s, well, I should say the 80s, the 70s, 80s, the 90s,
Yeah. Even like the early 2000s.
people were both on different sides of their political belief systems, but they were able to be friends also. We are in the Trump era, or the era that we're in right now, has made it where it's a death match. It's
Yeah.
all about I'm a Democrat, I'm a Republican, and I can't be with the Democrats and I can't be with Republicans.
Well, you see
And
the opposition as an enemy, and like
yes,
when you have an enemy, it's like you're just looking at war. You're not looking for compromise. You're not looking for common ground.
right. Tip O'Neill and Kennedy back in the day used to go to lunch together. They would fight it out in the House. I should say in the Senate. They would fight in the Senate, but then after, let's go grab a burger. That is what the world used to look like politically in DC.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then hold on, I want to put this up. This is from White Owl. Fun fact: Obama deported more illegal immigrants than Trump. Yes, we all know that Obama
Yes.
deported a lot more illegal aliens, but they were quote unquote illegal aliens. They were here. They were not here legally, and he sent them back. He didn't just start rounding up people.
And it was done with humanity.
Exactly. There's a starch contrast with what he did versus what is going on now.
That's right.
When Trump was in office the first time, he put children in cages like animals,
Yes.
separated them from their parents. There are some kids right now that still have not been reunited with their parents because they cannot find them because one, they didn't keep records. Okay.
That
So yes, that's it.
good one. That was good. That was good. Thank you, White Owl, for bringing it up, though. Let's see who else is in the bill. What else you guys saying? Appreciate these updates and insights. Thank you, guys. She says, "Yeah, we have a conversation. This is our trend watch. We're just talking about whatever's in the news here, and we want to talk about it. That's what we do on Thursdays." Mimi said he is not well. Who you
We know
tell?
that.
We know he is not well, and the mental gymnastics is diabolical. Yes. FRR says when they lose money, there's just wasn't social media to see it. Oh, okay. Good point there. There just wasn't social media to see
Absolutely.
it.
Social media has been a blessing and a curse.
Yes. Social media allows us to have insight and to see into some of this stuff. Yes, I agree, Chris. I think people yes, I agree, Chris. I think people only started caring when it became personal.
Yeah. And we've always, I mean, everyone that's in our community,
Anyone in this community,
Gwendolyn and Elise, we've always said that.
Until it affects these people in a way that is
Intimate
unbearable,
way. Yeah.
they are not going to change behavior. That's just humanity. Yes, FLR agree. They didn't understand tariffs. They don't understand that tariffs are not a good thing. And we went away from using tariffs because we remember how detrimental tariffs were during the 1920s. And so world economic policy moved away from tariffs. And when they did use tariffs for, to kind of like move people in line or for political reasons, they used those tariffs strategically because everyone understood that a great contribution to the depression of the 1920s was due to tariffs. It is an economic base conclusion globally. Tariffs are not a good thing.
Yeah. So a couple of things. Let's Mimi says, stay focused, follow the money. Yes. And then I want to put up this one by Lisa. He definitely is going to start a war near midterms and the 2028 elections. He is on record saying that the president can stop elections if there is a war. Yep. He always says what he's going to do. Yeah, he always projects. And then also, you can see it's like moving the military pieces around the world. Yes. This whole thing in the Caribbean with Venezuela's and just blowing up random boats.
We have two aircraft carriers off the coast of Venezuela, I do believe now.
Yeah.
And also he's been poking the bear or poking the Nigerian government.
Yeah.
And he wanted to go into Nigeria because Nigeria did not stand with him. And Nigeria would also say, we are not with you. We are not, so he's upset with Nigeria. He's angry with them. And wants to use them as guinea pigs as well, scapegoats.
And then also, I believe it was recently, within this, either yesterday or early this week, North Korea was showing off a new missile that they said can be launched anywhere in the world. It was a nuclear weapon. So, I mean, like, you've got all these different things going on. And, I mean, he is definitely pointing towards, all right, well, something might be happening. And don't put it past him to start a war. Don't. Yeah. This man will do anything to stay where he is. Let me ask this question, and this is just to to everyone in the audience. When have you ever come across a sitting president who has done so much redecorating in a term? Now, mind you, it's only been 10 months. In 10 months, he has completely gutted what the Oval Office looks like. He has destroyed the Rose Garden that Jackie Kennedy did. He has demolished the East Wing, not just like reworked, like literally took a bulldozer and it is no longer there. He is spending billions of dollars to quote unquote build a ballroom that he said that the country has always wanted. No one has asked this man, no one has asked anyone for a ballroom.
No one.
I mean, the level of destruction that this man has, thrust upon us in what, 11 months has been staggering. And he is just getting started.
And yeah, I love you guys are really participating. We got a lot of new people. If you guys are new here,
This
make sure you
feed.
hit the likes if you like the conversation and like what we do here. Make sure you hit the likes. Make sure you hit subscribe. We welcome you. We welcome you. As you see, we'll put your comments up here. We will put your comments if you're not a troll. Now, if you're a troll,
You will get banned.
then you will be banned. That's just the way it goes here. So what's this one?
Yeah, I'm trying to keep up with the comments. Like it's just fast and furious.
G says he is a criminal committing more criminal acts.
It's not news. It's not. And this is not something that's just now happening, him being president. This is something that he has done all of his life. This is something that he inherited from his father, okay? This is a family that does these type of things on a consistent basis. Nothing new to see here. Keep it moving, as they would say.
I love that criminal. I said Buster Cheeks is in the is speaking here. Yeah, and I love that. I love your mindset. I love what your I love your thought process. But I want you to dig a little deeper. I want you to dig a little deeper. And let me get this here. Sorry about that, y'all. Dig a little deeper because there is some truth to what you're saying. Is that if you understood, and I want you to do a little research. Is anybody that wants to look into this? On the surface, we have what's called the Democrat Party. We have the Republicans, or maybe the hijacked Republicans by MAGA. But there is an upper level to this. I don't know if you ever heard of what's called the neocons and the neolibs. You need to do a little research. Because once you understand who the neocons are and the neolibs, and they do meet once a year, all of them together, at least they used to, here in New York City. The neolibs, the neocons come together once a year, and in there they make lots of decisions about how they see the world. And there's conversation on how the country should move forward, either through the neocons or the neolibs. They have their own philosophies. It is worth digging into if you want to understand politics in America, and also partially outside of America, that depends on what is going on with neocons and neolibs. Look it up, and we'll talk about it next time. Okay? Neocons and neolibs. Do the research. There's some truth to what you're saying. But our political system is still Democrats and Republicans, two-party system. But there are people behind these parties that are working for their own agendas. And that is the neocons and the neolibs. And I'll leave it at that. Okay, Buster, but you are awesome. You Buster Cheeks, you are onto some stuff here. I just want to acknowledge you. Okay, Fifi says Obama is not in those files. Get real. Thank you, buddy. Thank you, buddy. Amen to that, says Tamita. I like that name, Tamita. Welcome, Tamita. Lisa says, I am not speaking for Clinton, but I She said, I'm not speaking for Clinton, but I highly doubt that Michelle and Barack are in there in a negative way. Now, could they have gone to the island? I guess.
Hmm.
That was
Well, I'm not gonna lie. I'm sitting here working today, taking out these trolls.
yeah,
We've had quite a few in here today.
yeah, this is the look. It's as we continue to grow, as we get to
Well,
grow our community, this is what happens.
yeah. It comes with the territory.
It's not just
So forgive us if we're not as fast and sharp as we normally are, because I mean, there's a lot. There is a ton of comments flooding in to kind of go through.
And so we're going through them. So
yeah.
He says they're getting the Argentina shuttle ready to go. Argentina is where all the can we say I guess we can't use the N word Nazis, but when Hitler and all his band of people, well, he didn't. It's alleged that he died. Some people think he lived, and all the people that were in military in the Nazi army, a lot of them fled to Argentina. Just saying. Why are we? Yes, we are not a democracy. We are a republic. Yes, that is true. Thank you, White Owl. And let's see here from you. Okay. Good job. So it's a lot of good stuff in here, y'all.
Yeah.
Supposed to say good United States crimes. How far does this go? Wow. Oh, wow. Wow. Whoa. Chris, you're right. There's a whole lot of comments, sir.
Listen, I actually scrolled through most of it to kind of remove some of the stuff. So to remove some of the stuff that's in here.
Excellent. Awesome. There's a lot of comments. So guys, I mean, I'm looking at the time, so we're going to close out in a moment. But this was a good conversation. And you guys had a lot to say. Holy moly. But I want to focus on Elise, because this is where we are in this political arena, is that most of the stuff that's happening is distractions. And we have to stay focused. So let's make sure we are staying focused on what is happening. We still have to make sure that we the people can control the outcome of what happens in this country. What the 1%, there's more of us as the 99% than those that are the 1%. And we can control it. And like Elise always mentions in our community, is that we could shut things down today. You can make a decision today to say, you know what? I'm not buying stuff like I used to. I'm not supporting these people, these big corporations. I'm going to start shopping to my local vendors. I'm going to shop with the people that are in my neighborhood. I'm going to shop with mom and pop stores. I'm going to shop. You can change. We can change our behaviors, right? We can change our behavior and how we support corporations that support this regime. Chris?
Yeah. Listen, the one thing I would say with everyone, don't just go to one source. Get your information from multiple sources. So, I mean, we kind of have to be like our own reporters now today. Before you could really trust news where they would have 3 sources before they go and report on it. You need to get sources and get facts, get information, get an understanding. Don't just sit there and watch Fox News, or just don't sit there and watch CNN. Get your information from multiple sources and draw a logical conclusion for yourself. People nowadays do not use reasonable thinking we've become a dumb society where we believe what we see on TikTok and the first thing we see on social media and want to spread it. That is not news. That is gossip.
I love Tom. Tom is in the building. Look at Tom. Tom Morris is in the building. I've heard it said that the Democrats are the corporatists, and the Republicans aligned with oligarchs. That there is some truth to that. And okay, got that. Okay, yeah, okay, we got most of this stuff today. Okay, that's it. There's a lot here that we could post here, but you guys are on a roll and sharing and bringing some good points up. I'm glad we were able to address some of the stuff that was here. And guys, again, we want to thank you for being here. Let me go into our closeout. Okay, make sure you join our email listing. I'm just gonna get this comment off the box. There. Okay. Join our email list today and go to ronlewisphotos.com. You can join our email and we'll be able to connect with you through email, and also make sure you are on. I am, at least you'll know that I'm an event photographer. You can. That's how I do most of my work here, and I will be traveling around the country. So if I'm in your town and you're looking for a photographer, let me know. I'll start posting my schedule, at least a rough draft of what I'm doing in the world. And also, again, thank you to the Patreon members. You support what we do here. You are the reason why we are here. And on that note, with that, I can also say, if you want to become a Patreon member, just scan the QR code. Go to the QR code, scan it, and you can become part of our Patreon community. And that's what we have. Most of the stuff that we do here, like our Motivation Mondays, our Tip Tuesdays, and any other special stuff will live over in our Patreon community. So you can get years of information, what we've done in this community, in the Patreon community. So you can join that by scanning the QR code. Thank you so much for that. And last but not least, you're invited to join our YouTube channel. Hit the likes and hit the subscribe. We welcome you. And we are so delighted to see so many people here today. So many new folks, new faces, new minds, new thoughts. That the way we grow as a community, the way we grow as people is by indulging in communication and sharing our thoughts, sharing what we're thinking, sharing the information we know, sharing the facts, sharing the history. That's how we grow. Elise says, you have to ask yourself why so many trolls are showing up. There must be something we have said on the platform. Have them coming in to try to disrupt our information.
Listen, I think listen. After we get off, I think Elise and Gwendolyn should get on, and we'll just have our little conversation in the background.
Yes, we could do that. But also, one thing about you will realize in social media, for those that don't follow the social media like we do on, is that anytime your platform grows at any rate, there's always going to be trolls. That just comes with the territory. And a lot of time, certain trolls are also respond to certain usage on the platform. So if you say Trump or you say MAGA or you say, it automatically will open up your what you're doing, your feed, to others, because that's how the algorithms work, unfortunately. Because the algorithms loves negativity versus positive stuff. So that is all about being online. G is getting a little rescue over there. What the hell is she doing over here? Anyway, so guys, thank you so much for joining us, and thank you. And I think we're good. We're good. Did I get that off the screen there? Let me pop that off. And so we're good. Okay. Chris, any last words?
Nope. Have a good day. See you tomorrow.
Okay, guys, thank you so much for joining us today. And we'll see you tomorrow. Tomorrow's our Focus Friday, where we focus on social media that inspires, encourages, and enlightens. Later. Hello, and thank you for joining us today. Make sure you hit the like, the subscribe, and leave a comment on this video. I would love to hear from you. Thank you again. Until I see you next time.